Hello and welcome to my double review. I'm doing another Thierry Mugler double fragrance review. It's actually the last two that I own, so I don't have any more after this. I'm just going to buy some more, I guess. It's my first review since I reviewed Midnight Poison on New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year again. I'm back again. So yeah, these two fragrances are both marketed towards men. But obviously, as I always say, whoever wants to wear them can wear them. I will kind of try and compare them, even though they shouldn't really be compared, but I will do it anyway, just because. So, Amen, or Amen, or I've heard it called Angel Men, whichever one you want to call it. I like Amen, as in forever and ever Amen. I don't actually have the box anymore. I threw it away a long time ago when I was rearranging stuff, so I've just got the bottle. So yeah, here it is. This is mine. You can get it in either a silver bottle or you can get it in a rubber flask like this. The spray is built in. Mine isn't refillable, but with a lot of his fragrances you can get kind of the refillable ones, so you can just keep using them, I guess. Mine's nearly finished as well, which is unfortunate, but I'll get more anyway. So yeah, it's an oriental woody fragrance. It came out in 1996. And I will go through the notes with you, and then I will show you the bottle, which you can probably see anyway. So the top notes is this has got a lot of stuff in it as well, so it's quite an assault on the senses when you first spray it. So the top, you've got coriander, mint, lime, fruity notes. It's not really specified anywhere what it is, but I would probably just ignore that anyway because I don't think it smells fruity at all. Lavender, and then green notes, whatever that may be. And then the heart notes is packed with lots of sweet stuff. So you've got honey, milk and caramel, along with patchouli, lily of the valley, jasmine and cedarwood. And then the base is sandalwood, more sweet stuff, tonka, amber and benzoin, which is a very sweet resin, coffee, vanilla, musk and more patchouli. So tons of stuff going on in this. It's just incredibly powerful. As with a lot of Thierry Mugler's fragrances, the original ones, when he first releases like a new one, they're usually really good quality and they last a hell of a long time, and this one is definitely massive, huge sillage or sillage, whatever you want to call it, and the longevity is amazing. So yeah, here's the bottle. It's, as with anything that's kind of Angel or anything that's a spin-off of Angel, there's always going to be a star on the bottle somewhere, so it's just basically a simple bottle, but it's got a kind of glass star so you can see kind of how much you've got left, and the liquid's blue inside of it as well. I'll spray it on this hand because I've already got Bmen on this hand. So yeah, when you first spray it, this is, as I said, it's like an attack on your senses, as with Angel as well, which is it's just a lot of stuff. But I always say that this is literally like two fragrances in one, because the way it starts out is definitely not the way it ends. So when it's first sprayed, it can be really off-putting because it smells kind of smoky, and I've heard it described as smelling a little bit like tar, and it does a little bit. It has that sort of very sharp kind of, it's spicy at the same time, but it smells quite smoky with an underlying sweetness, because the sweet notes in it, which there's a lot of them, as I just told you, they're kind of waiting to come forward. But this really does need to settle. I mean, I don't find it too unpleasant, the first part of it, but if you know, some people do. It's with Angel, it's love or hate. It's a kind of love or hate fragrance, I would say. It's definitely masculine, and it's definitely just so different. That's what he always goes for anyway, doesn't he? Thierry Mugler, he goes for something really different, and he's done it with this fragrance. I don't really smell it that often either on people, which is unusual, because if you did smell it, you'd have known straight away. But yeah, so mainly at the beginning, I would say I can't really smell mint. It's more kind of green and a little bit spicy, rather than anything fruity or say limey or anything like that. It's not like that at all. And yeah, it's quite confusing. It's got such a strange composition. It's got such a mixture of weirdness in it that and it just shows when you smell it. I find this one really tough to describe. I'm going to be honest with you. It's such a toughie. I've been thinking about what I'm going to say about it, and I kind of keep drawing blanks, but that's what I can say by the opening. It's got a strange tarness to it. It's smoky, it's spicy, but it's got an underlying sweetness. So if you give it about, well, on my skin, within about 20 minutes or half an hour, it calms down a hell of a lot and kind of rounds out a little bit. Still kind of unusual, but it's not as in your face as when you first spray it. And then the dry down of this is completely and utterly different. It's like all of the sweet notes get together and stomp out everything else. You lose everything smoky, everything spicy, and it literally smells. It's probably one of the sweetest male fragrances I've ever smelled, even more so than, say, Pie by Givenchy, which is really sweet. This dries down to almost, someone told me before that I smelled like marshmallows, and I've had that not once but twice. Somebody's like, what is that? It smells really, you smell like sweets. And that's due to the fact that it's got honey, milk, caramel, tonka, amber and benzoin all together. It's like they just join forces and create this super sweet fragrance that loses a lot of its masculinity. So if you like that, if you're daring enough to be a guy that wears really sweet scents, which I am, I like something different, then I would go for it. But it really is two different fragrances, so you just got to make your choice, I guess. If you're going to be, going somewhere quite quickly and you want to smell the top notes and smell spicy and strange, then do that. If you're going to be wearing this out clubbing, you're probably going to come home smelling like sugar. Yeah, the flowers, it's got lily of the valley and jasmine in it, and again, there is so much unusualness to this that I think they kind of get stomped out. This doesn't smell like jasmine to me. I can't even really smell coffee, and that you'd think that would be quite a really distinct note, but to my nose anyway, I can't smell coffee in this. And it is slightly musky too. But overall, yeah, I don't know, it's just, I wouldn't say it's refined, I wouldn't say it's mature or anything like that. I just think it's very different, and you're just going to love it or you're going to hate it. I guess you just have to try it to see. So that's it really. That's Amen, Amen, Angel Men, whatever you want to call it. So Bmen, going on to this one. This one is also classified as an Oriental woody fragrance. This one came out much later, it came out in 2004. I'm not sure if it was meant to be like a brother or sister scent or a follow-on or whatever, but yeah, this is the box. The box of Amen is actually the same as this, except it's blue and black instead of red and black, so you probably would have seen it in the picture anyway. So this is Bmen. Again, it's got the star. It's red this time though, and it's got on the back a little picture of it, in case you didn't know what was inside. The bottle is exactly the same. It's a rubber flask again. Both of mine are 50ml bottles, except the star is red this time. I usually would hold up the iPad now, but I don't think it'd be a point because you can't see it. You can't see through it anyway. And where Amen is black, this is kind of almost like a really charcoal grey kind of colour. This is nearly full as well because I haven't really worn this one yet, and I only got it recently too. So I actually sprayed this on my hand this morning, and I had a shower and I could still smell it after I had a shower, so that does say something about the quality. So the notes of Bmen. So I'm so frustrated. I just checked my camera after finishing off this review about Bmen and realised that my camera hadn't recorded anything that I said about Bmen. What are you going to do? Technology. I suppose I better start again and try and remember what I said. So I think I was just going through the notes of Bmen. So I'll try not to rush now. I feel like I need to rush because I've already done this, but hey. So the top notes of Bmen are rhubarb and fruity notes. It says, it doesn't specify anywhere kind of what they are or why or anything really, it just says fruity notes. The heart notes, and this is kind of the main bit of it, I think. It's got spices. Again, it's not really specified what spices, but it's very spicy. Licorice, leather, violet, citrusy notes, and aniseed or anise, whichever one you want to call it. And then the base notes are amber, vetiver, vanilla, patchouli, musk, and kind of dry woodsy notes. So I've got to remember, if I repeat myself, do apologise, because I did say a few things. If I say it again, just brush over it. So yeah, I have it on this hand, Bmen, and what I said was, Amen and Bmen, in my opinion, open the same. They open very, very similar, but the similarity ends there. They both open with kind of spicy, kind of dark, very masculine notes, but where Amen trails off into this massively sweet perfume, this one doesn't. This is a lot more aromatic smelling. It's more herbal, more green, and you can really smell, sorry it's on this hand, you can really smell kind of the licoricey spiciness of this one. This one I would say is probably a lot more wearable. It's not as sort of unusual when you first smell it. It smells a little bit more familiar, like you've smelt the stuff that's in it before, rather than Amen, where it's like, that doesn't make any sense to my nose right now. Yeah, it's really nice. This is a lot more masculine. This one stays very spicy and very kind of zingy. It's not smooth in any kind of way until it starts to dry. When it starts to dry, the violet in this kind of gives it a sort of powderiness, I think. Not a lot, it's not like a massive powder perfume, but it does soften in that way. It does have like a kind of nice, clean, powdery vibe, but it's also very dry. The fact that it's got vetiver in the base and the dry woodsy notes keep it dry. It's not juicy or, you know, lush smelling. Vetiver is a very dry, grassy kind of note, and that's really apparent in this, with just lots of spices along the top. I've not really worn this one very many times. It's definitely very nice and wintry. It'd be nice for cold weather because it's kind of warm smelling. It's really cool. And the leather in it, you can smell leather, but it's very muted. It's only like an accent rather than being an in-your-face note. I've actually got these two, they were up there before. I've actually got these two fragrances next to me because this is Black Jeans by Versace and this is Body Kuros by Yves Saint Laurent. If you've ever smelled any of these two, this is along the same lines. It has that sort of spicy, aromatic, sexy vibe to it. If these two kind of married, this would be the baby, if that makes sense. And that's really silly, but you know what I mean. If my camera stops recording again, I'm going to go crazy and give up, but please be working right now. I can't tell, it doesn't flash or anything, so... but yeah, the longevity of this is really good as well. Not as good as Amen, but still, it's still a very good quality fragrance, and it definitely projects really well too. So yeah, if Amen is a bit unusual for you, or if you don't like something so sweet, this is, you know, a kind of good comparison. Very different in the dry down, so if you like the spicy weirdness of the top notes of Amen and want to keep that, go with this. It's just a lot more wearable, as I said. So yeah, that's it really. I hope it's still recording, and I hope I didn't rush through that, but that's it really. I hope it worked. I'll be doing more reviews today. I've decided that I'm going to do quite a few, so keep watching. Alright, bye.